Hey guys, I'm Philip from Sound in Space, and I just watched Star Trek Discovery. And overall, I liked it. So in this video I'll go over my impressions and what I thought of it. I'll try to keep it spoiler-free, so don't worry if you haven't watched the episodes yet. But then if you want no information at all, then you should probably watch the episodes first and then come back to this video. So yeah, overall, I thought it was good, and I was actually a little bit pleasantly surprised. I didn't have too great expectations of the episode. I don't think any of us really did. There's been a lot of things, a lot of series that have been ruined by reboots and by sequels, so I was afraid that this could happen to Star Trek as well. But then, luckily, in my opinion, it didn't. But then, I was still hopeful, so I wasn't too surprised. I'd say it was more or less as I expected it to be. It had great visuals. I mean, the special effects were really on the next level. I don't think we've ever seen those, like that type of special effects in Star Trek. The story was pretty good. It's kind of a self-contained story, really, the first two episodes. I can't really go much into that, because it's supposed to be spoiler-free. The characters were interesting. The two of the main characters, Micheal Burnham and Lieutenant Saru, had a very interesting relationship. I found that intriguing. They're basically two completely different personalities. We started with a Klingon scene at the beginning. I think it was a pretty good start. I liked it, but then it's kind of just this exposition, you know, at the start. Maybe they could have done it in a slightly better way, but then it was alright. Maybe it was a bit off-putting for people who are new to Star Trek, having them hear this Klingon language that they've never heard before makes them feel alienated. So maybe that wasn't the best move for CBS if they wanted to attract a new audience. But I don't think it matters that much. I think it was fine. Then we went on to Micheal Burnham and the captain of the Shenzou, not of the Discovery, on a desert planet. They were on some kind of mission. Then, after that, we got to the opening sequence. The opening sequence it's different than anything we've had so far, really. And now that might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing. I mean, I like the creativity, I like how it's original, but then maybe I would have preferred something more classic, I guess. Something similar to, let's say, the DS9 opening sequence was pretty good, the revised one. I actually enjoyed Enterprise's opening sequence. Call me weird or whatever, but I liked it. And this one is kind of similar to that. I mean, out of all the Star Trek opening sequences, it's the most similar to that. Don't worry, it's not the same music or anything. Still its own thing, so it's pretty unique. You'll see when you watch the episode. And, well, I mean, I don't think the opening sequence matters that much. One thing I should say is that if you're expecting Discovery to be exactly like the old Star Trek series, well, it's not gonna be like that, so you might be disappointed. We have to basically, in my opinion, we have to understand that Discovery is made in 2017, and times have changed since the last Star Trek series. So we can't have the same visuals and the same look as we had back then. I mean, technology has to look realistic for us in the 21st century, for us in 2017. Having a ship that looks like a cardboard box, which is basically what they had in the original series, that would not go with today's audience. They would just switch the channel. I mean, okay, in this case they can't switch the channel because CBS made it only available on CBS All Access, which is a completely different story for a separate video. Now, you'll say, okay, well, they should have set it in the 25th century then, or in an alternate timeline. And I agree, they should have. That would have made things so much easier. But they didn't, and we have to accept that they didn't. And we have to consider this... Well, I mean, I consider it as a kind of a soft reboot. That helps me accept it. If you won't, just consider it not happening in the same timeline. And then that makes it easier to accept. And yeah, you have to admit that it really does look amazing. It might not look canon, but it does look amazing. Okay, the Klingons, well, yeah, the Klingons, that we can talk about. I kind of like their look. I preferred the old one. I prefer the old look, but then, I mean, the new look is pretty good as well. I don't think it was really necessary to redo them this much, but I don't particularly mind. There was a really good space battle. Of course, it had great special effects, as I've already said. The whole 2 episodes had amazing special effects. One thing that I was really impressed by is that they finally made the ships move in 3 dimensions, so they used all the 3 dimensions they had. They actually utilized tactics in 3D, which is not something we got often in Star Trek before, and I think we should get it more. There was a pretty cool EVA suit. I think that was in the trailer, right? With Micheal Burnham in it. I found that impressive. Maybe a bit too advanced. I mean, we did go back to that. I think the ship was definitely necessary to be that advanced, but then the EVA suit, yeah, maybe not. And then that brings me to the next point, and that's the hologram communication. There were holograms in it, right? So they communicated through holograms, which I don't think that was necessary. I don't think they had to do it. They could have just stuck with normal video communication, like in all other series. Because really, they only introduced holograms in Star Trek in, like, what, DS9? In that one episode with Eddington. You know, when Sisko was talking to Eddington. When it was revealed that he was a member of, you know what. I don't want to spoil that. I'm sorry if anyone hasn't watched the whole of DS9. But yeah, so I don't think holograms were necessary, and they didn't really... I mean, they looked futuristic, but they didn't really look that great. I don't think they're necessary for Star Trek. I guess that's it. I've already taken up enough of your time. So to wrap it up, I think the first 2 episodes of Discovery are definitely worth a watch. I mean, I remain hopeful, I remain optimistic. We'll see on Sunday, or Monday for us Europeans, what the 3rd episode will be like, and I guess that's going to determine a lot for Star Trek Discovery going into the future, but overall, I think they did a good job. I think they did well. So thanks for watching. If you want to continue watching more Star Trek Discovery reviews, then please subscribe. We are planning on doing things other than Star Trek as well, so other science fiction. And well, that's it, I guess. I'm probably gonna make a new video, spoiler full review, which is going to be detailing, you know, some particular scenes that I think are worth mentioning and things like that. And also I'll talk about what I thought of the ending of the episode, which I couldn't really do in this one. So yeah, that's it. See you next time.